Bravo 007, turn right, heading 185, reduce speed 180 knots.
185 on the heading, 180 on the seatbelt there, 007.
Speedbird 124, reduce speed 160 knots to 40 me.
Reduce 160 to 4, speed 124.
We meet again, Paul.
Oh my god, we need to do this more often.
Yeah, I know. It's actually quite weird. The amount of people that want this is unreal. I didn't think that many people, or as many people, would be interested. As they are.
I have a comment on the video saying, do more shared cockpit with Matt, and it has almost 100 likes on it now. I'm like, wow, okay.
So, to those almost 100 people, this is for you.
Yeah, just 100 views on the video, just those people who wanted it.
Yeah. So, where are we?
Melbourne, Australia.
Yeah, I'm not going to attempt the accent. I'm going to apologise in advance if my side of the thing seems a little bit stuttery. For some reason, when I look in certain areas, I get absolutely nailed by lag, which is not fun.
It's probably palm trees or something like that. It's trying to model every single leaf on the tree.
Palm trees? We're in Palmer now. Okay. So, we're heading to where?
Canberra today, which is, what, about an hour flight time? Well, not even that, I don't think. Probably about an hour in total.
Yeah, it's about that. And we've employed our own personal registration. Instead of trying to figure out, like, who flies what, because it's not always the case that a specific airline flies routes, we figured that we've got our own private reg, which is Victor Papa Charlie Charlie Juliet. I'm looking at it on my screen. I don't know if Paul's showing you on yours, but
yeah,
it's pretty
I'm
nice. It's pretty nice.
The thing is, it's a business jet, right? So my question is, who are we flying today? Because the payload's got 89 passengers, so are they just all businessmen, or is there a VIP in there, do you reckon?
Alan Sugar and the cast of The Apprentice.
Wow. In that case, have you got your parachute?
I think we should chuck it around on purpose. The 0 G's in the cruise, that'll be interesting.
Alright, well, I'm going to jump into the cockpit then, and let's start this off, shall we?
Yep, well, I need to just load the fuel. I am flying today, as Paul did the last sector, to Innsbruck, which apparently everyone enjoyed. Sadly, this approach into, where are we going again? Canberra. Yeah. It's not as interesting as Innsbruck, but still, it's a nice scenic day out.
I think the landing in Canberra is actually quite decent, so the scenery looks okay.
Nice. Right, just check me your fuel figures and just see what you've got fuel on board.
FOB is reading 5 tons.
Perfecto. I suppose before we start, we should address that whole flex issue we had last time.
Oh yes, the way that we couldn't get into flex at all during takeoff, and we went off like a missile. Do explain.
I've been flying Airbus for a long time, and I completely forgot that if you set the acceleration and thrust reduction altitude to below the airfield elevation, then it kind of goes into a little bit of a confused state, and it won't apply flex to the engines when you go to take off. So I think one person got it right in your comments on your video. I've not seen someone correct it on my video yet, but yeah, Munich's above, I think, 1,500 feet, and I set it to 1,500 feet, so it was actually my fault. And for the entire flight, I actually thought it was Paul's fault, so there you go. I was almost pulling rank, and then I realised it was actually my own fault.
I'll be honest, my thought was it was something to do with the numbers we shoved in, or I had a problem with my controller, but it wasn't that at all.
But it will work today because I have all the charts on hand. I know the elevation, I know what needs to be put in, and we will not have those issues ever again. Lesson learned. And then I just started to program the MCDU by putting E in. That's how much I'm used to flying in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, I don't fly in Australia that much, so I thought it'd be kind of cool to come down here for a bit, and you know, there's some nice airports around here, some pretty different kind of scenery as well. It's like Orbex, Australia, SP4 or something I've got.
Yeah, SP4, and then Holger's Mesh. You know, it's funny actually. Australians are my third. Wait, how do I say this? In demographic, they're the third most viewers, I guess. Like third most percentage of viewers.
YouTube analytics for the win, eh?
Yeah, I never knew that. It was weird. First is US for some reason. I don't know why everyone in the USA watches me. Then UK second, and then yeah, Australia third, and then like Germany fourth.
IRs aligning in 3 minutes.
I can't read this flight plan format that you sent me. I have no idea what the estimate is.
I had exactly the same problem when you sent me a flight plan. That's what I mean. When it exports and when it prints, it does it in a completely different way.
Yeah, so YSWG is what you have as the first alternate, so I'll just stick that in. And of course, we don't have a flight number anymore. We just use the registration, which is Victor Papa Charlie Jolly Juliet. Right, as we're a business jet, fuel is not really a priority. So should we just like cost index 99 it?
Yes. Well, I'd take off like last time.
Yeah. Well, not quite. We're going up to 370 apparently.
Indeed. Favourable winds and all that.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where your temperature is.
It's hang on, I'll tell you. Minus 53.
Tar. And 5 tons of fuel, and everything else is good to go. So you said that we're departing off runway 16 here.
Yeah, runway 16, and then I think we sort of loop around.
It's a Docel 8. It's an RNAV departure. What else is there? Let's have a look.
Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward flight, to be honest. Not like the last one we did, Innsbruck.
Well, Innsbruck's straightforward until you try and fly the approach. Okay, so Docel... Oh, wait, there's no airways. It's just direct.
Yeah.
Direct to Manda. What kind of name is that? And then we'll do the arrival when we're in the air. I'm not bothering with that just yet.
Yeah, that's fine.
Flaps 1 and it's 0.6 up, courtesy of Aerosoft's calculator. And everything else is in.
Yep, 10,000 transition. That's cool.
I hate it when I click away from my monitor to see charts. Like my sound just goes dead completely. It's like I feel like my computer's crashed or something.
Okay, well we're still, unfortunately, it's 1 minute till we get the IRS aligned. So we could start doing some prep here. I mean, my windows and doors are locked.
Yeah, I'm just finishing up the MCDU. Transition altitude is 10,000 feet.
I said that.
Well, I was just double checking, because if I don't...
It is, right.
Okay. Right, what's the elevation?
On here, this airport? I don't know.
395, apparently.
Is it really?
I don't know, actually. I think I might be lying about that. Let me check. Oh, no. 434. So we can do 1,500 and 3,000 here without it complaining.
You're going for it again, aren't you?
Yeah, I am, because engine out needs to be 1,500. But it's fine. It's just 1,000 foot above.
Thought we didn't care about fuel?
Well, I don't, but you have to reduce the climb at some point. You can't just fly all the way up in toga.
Did last time.
Well, yeah, that I've never flown an Airbus like that in my life, so that was
Me
interesting.
neither. I can imagine your face was like creased from the G-forces.
Yeah, basically for lunch you're having the guy in front of you's tray table.
IRS alignment.
Right, so I've got a bunch of stuff I have to do here, and I completely forgot. Well, no, I've finished with the MCDU stuff, so I'll do all my stuff. So batteries.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to. I mean, you've got master, so I can't do GSX boarding, so we'll just have to.
Well, actually, if I'll switch it to master for the moment, and then once we push back, then you can give it me back.
Right. So you're giving me master now or
yeah,
later?
you should see. No, you've
okay,
got
I've got
now.
master. Yeah.
And the reason why, for those of you who are wondering, my GSX is broken here. It's giving me a read error file issue. Paul's is fine, so he can do the pushback. But I'll still do the PF responsibilities. It's just he'll be responsible for the pushback.
Okay, boarding has commenced.
Sweet. Right, well, I'll do my stuff. So ADRSs are on nav, which they are. Electronic hydraulic pumps, they need to come on, which are all here, and the fuel pumps too. What else is there? Engine generators, well, they're on, but there's obviously going to be a fault light because they're not on. Packs 1 and 2 are off. Actually, no, they're on, but with a fault light because, again, there's nothing being supplied to them. Engine anti-ice, we don't need that. The emergency exits and the signs can all come on. Nav lights on, GPWS is set, MCDU is complete. And that is pretty much everything done on my side. Okay, well I finished my preps. Which took all
Just
of 2
double
minutes.
check the barrel reference is 1021, reading 450.
Correct.
Yeah, boarding's happening now.
Apparently, in version 3.1, which is what me and Paul are both using, the water is insanely good. They updated the water.
Yeah. I forgot about that because I updated to 3.1 just before we did this, so I've not seen the water yet.
Yeah, neither have I, but apparently it's amazing. And apparently the ships and everything now in the water have their own wake, so it actually looks like they're sailing.
Nice. It was like a 10 gig download.
You know what's really funny? The day it was released, I was browsing Facebook, like a naughty boy, and I found on one of the Facebook groups for P3D someone had actually downloaded a boat and was sailing from like Southampton to JFK in P3D.
What?
Real time on VATSIM. It was insane, but then he got banned, so rip that guy. Because you can't sail on VATSIM. It's like, it's not allowed.
Oh my god, the baggage is like coming in a little train and it's about 100 meters away still. What the heck have they been doing here? Like, I heard all the passengers get on, and like the baggage train's just still coming over.
I've still got this floating man at the right-hand side of me. I thought I turned all that off. He's literally 20 feet above the ground, stood there with his arms crossed.
Is it? He's like, not, what's his name? David Copperfield. He does lots of floating stuff, doesn't he? I think this guy's lost with the baggage.
Well, I'd love to say I can see, but my GSX is broken, so never mind.
He just took the most absurd route. This is unbelievable. I want to sack this guy now.
Wait, what? Oh no, he is in the air. I thought something had gone wrong. Oh, by the way, BBJ pilots, business jet pilots, don't do walkarounds. They have, like, butlers to do it for them, so...
Butlers.
I'm joking, but that's what we're going to say for the fact that we've not done one. I'm just chilling out with this floating man outside. He's not even got any shoes. The bottom of his legs have been chopped off.
They don't pay him enough to get shoes, that's why.
That's actually unbelievable.
Interesting. It looks like they're only loading the rear cargo space.
Well, I mean, if you get bored of waiting, you can always just reset it. Sometimes the timing of GSX isn't the best, so if I ever get impatient, I just hit the reset button and then just do pushback, and it kind of works. I just basically inadvertently made the best thumbnail ever. It looks so good with the shadows.
Looking at the weather here, because obviously it's summer down in Australia, which is great to see when you're facing horrible weather up in the UK. But just looking around, they've got like lovely shadowing, lovely clouds. It just looks really like a nice summer day out here.
It looks really nice until I look to the southeast and I get 20 FPS. But it's weird because I get 20 FPS and then it's fine. It like loads it and then it's fine. But then when I go back to it, it's stuttery again. It's like it doesn't cache it properly.
Yeah, I saw that in Brisbane scenery, and if it disabled a bunch of stuff, a lot of scenery objects, it went away completely.
Nice. Do you have static traffic turned on?
There's two options for static traffic in Brisbane, which I had one turned on and one turned off, I seem to remember. Right, boarding is complete.
Nice. Well, I've got static traffic on. I've got Qantas 737, like 4 stands to the right of us, just on the corner. Closing the door. Oh, wait, I think I just pressed 1, which opened it again. Sorry. Just reclose that door.
Yeah, I have no static scenery.
Just your front door, is it closed or open?
No, they're all open.
They're all open?
All closed, sorry.
So your front left door is open?
It's closed. They're all closed.
Nah, okay,
Here we go again.
If I do this, does it close for you? Or open? Or are we good?
Nothing's happened.
Okay, cool, that's fine. Sometimes, you know, because the doors are mapped to like Shift E and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I'm in Easy Dock and I use my 1 key to center my view as you're closing the door, for some reason it thinks it wants me to reopen the door again.
Right.
So, whatever. Anyway, so I've done everything. Have you done everything?
Everything's been done. We are ready for. Well, I need to turn on the APU.
I'm just going to do that now, yeah, 1 sec. All the takeoff data's in and the MCDU's set, so...
Is that your flow? Where's that?
PF on the left-hand side.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, your stuff's to do with chocks and external power, etc.
Yeah.
One of the most difficult things is CRM, crew resource management, is getting it right, because it's so easy to cross hands, especially when you're not used to it.
Yeah, it has been interesting, especially when we one of us is captain and the other one's the first officer, and we switch around, and it confuses you because you're used to doing one thing and then you have to do something else and not do certain things.
I honestly, you need to realize that these people that get this right on a daily basis have been put through hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of training, so they're they have to be good at it. Whereas simming in this sort of environment, you're bound to get cross wires all the time.
Yeah, the other thing is they're doing it every day. Just waiting for the APU to come online.
I just hear a doorbell.
Yeah, that was mine.
Nice. It's okay. I started the recording and got a text message straight away. That was really good. It's like, hello guys, hello Paul. Then ding dong. Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, I have a sign on my door to
YouTube
say I'm recording, but I can't stop the doorbell from going off.
No, so it's part of the human factor of being a YouTuber. Things get in the way, like ignorant people. It's not really ignorant, is it? But they are in my world.
Okay.
Okay.
Disconnecting external.
Cool. And we can do the before start checklist to the line.
Okay. Before start checklist to the line. Pushback starting clear.
We'll just assume that that's fine. We don't have ATC, so.
Windows and doors.
Okay, so it's windows locked on my side and the doors are closed.
Window is locked on my side. Beacon
is on.
Okay, that's to the line.
Okay, and then we can go for the before start checklist.
Okay, before start pushback checklist. Cockpit prep.
Is completed.
Wheel chocks.
I've seen they're removed.
Okay, cabin signs.
Okay, cabin signs are on and auto.
ADIRs.
Are set to nav.
Fuel quantity.
4980 kilograms set.
Takeoff data.
Is set.
Barrel reference.
Is set 1021450 feet indicated.
1021450 feet indicated. Confirmed. Do you want to go below the line?
Yeah.
Okay, windows and doors.
Yeah, as already discussed, closed on my side for the windows and the doors are closed.
Okay, beacon is on. Thrust levers.
Are idle.
Parking brake.
Is set.
Checklist complete.
Okay, well, I'll chuck your master again. There you go.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, my bad. You're already on master.
Okay.
And
I'll do the pushback.
and now you
then.
can do the pushback, yeah. I swear the print feature on this aircraft actually works.
Print.
Yeah, you could print stuff to your default printer. I don't know why I think that, but I swear that that's a thing. Like when you want to print off like weather reports and stuff.
All right.
But I just can't remember how you do it. I think it's with the Airbus Connect. Have you seen? Did I ever show you the video behind or the screen?
What, on the Airbus?
Yeah.
Don't think so.
So if you in the middle underneath where it says cockpit door underneath the speed brake.
Yeah.
There's a video button to the right of it.
Yeah.
You left click that and then look behind you above the door.
Oh yeah.
See, there's a video.
It's
Now,
a heavily saturated video.
yeah, I replaced it with Freddy Krueger's face, but then when I reinstalled the Airbus, I forgot to put it back. So now it just looks default, sadly.
Listen, park and brake.
Okay, start the clock, which you've already done perfect, and I will
Start at will.
number 2. So starting engine 2. And we're in the IAE, so there's a little bit of a difference to the CFMs on the start sequence. And 2 is rising.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
And there's a positive fuel flow.
Temperature's coming up.
I like the IAE sounds. They're so nice. It's really bassy.
Right, engine 2 has
Perfect.
stabilised.
Start engine 1. And there goes the master switch. Ah, there's the dog bark. PTU. Well, actually, someone in your comments on the last video gave a really nice in-depth explanation of what a PTU is, and they got it spot on.
Nice. I wonder if they knew that or they just Googled it.
I mean, you could probably Google it if you knew what like if it had been told, like said to you, it was a PTU. But I don't ever remember saying it was a PTU. So.
Okay, parking brake is set.
Okay, you can go with the after start flows once one's stabilised.
Still firing up for me.
Yeah, it's still going for me as well.
Alrighty, is that engine 1 stabilised?
Perfecto. Okay, after start flows we go. AP bleed can come off, and the anti-ice not required. AP master can come off as well. Pitch trim 0.6 up would be good. Let me just check the flight control page. He says, there we go. 1.
Okay, I'll just wait for GSX to do
Alright.
disconnect and I'll hand it back
Yeah,
over
I was
so you
just,
can do
I was
flight
just doing the
controls.
trim, and I was like, why is the trim not working? I forgot I don't have master. Just let me know when you fired it back across.
Yeah, he's just kind of wandering off now.
Sweet. Pretty short taxi
Okay.
to 1-6.
You have master?
Okay, thanks. Okay, ready for flight control check?
Yep. Full left. Full right. Full up. Full down. Rudder left. And rudder right.
Perfect.
Up to start checklist.
Go for it.
Anti-ice.
Not required.
ECAM status.
It's checked.
Pitch rudder trim.
Pitch 0.6 up, rudder 0.
And hand signal was received.
Okay, perfect. Ready to taxi?
Yep, ready to taxi.
Okay, you get the lights and we'll go. Nice.
Lights are done.
Parking brake released. And away we go.
Looks like you need to go down Echo then Alpha.
Yeah, Echo, and then it'll run parallel to 2-7. And then
You turn right into
across
Alpha,
2-7, yeah.
follow it down. It's like the texture in here is very like sandy, orangey, you know, like drier than like in England you get nice green lush texture.
Yeah.
And like here it's all very
It's because of the heat.
yeah, exactly. It's nice. It's different. And the tarmac's all not tarmac. It's concrete.
So we were talking about Australia a couple of days ago with some friends that live over there, and you know they have like 365-day a year beach weather. It's perfect.
Yeah. Have problems with like getting skin cancer though, don't they? Because there's so much sun.
Yeah, but YOLO. Would you rather spend 80 years of your life in the cold, or run the risk of living 80 years of your life in the hot with the potential risk of getting skin cancer.
Yeah. Some people like the cold, some people like the hot, you know.
It's this next right, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, this should be Alpha. Why don't they have any signs up?
I guess it's because we deactivated some stuff.
Look at the paint. I don't know what yours, but on mine, like the paint is all worn off the tarmac as well.
Yeah, I just find the whole, like, the textures are so low quality on the ground.
Runway clear.
Are they bad for you, or?
They're not fantastic, but they're okay. I was messing about with my settings.
Okay, so... yeah, it's just up here. I love with idle power, it just goes on its own. That's so nice.
Yeah.
Right, do you want to start doing the before takeoff flows and then we'll get
Yep.
up underway? For some reason, that was my childhood memory of hearing the seatbelt sign ding before departure. It's like, honestly, that's what hooked me on flying for some reason.
Possibly
the whole
wondered at
concept
the
of
time.
sitting down is weird. Once I've made this left turn, we'll do the before takeoff checklist.
Okay. Right, before takeoff checklist, flight controls.
Checked.
Check confirmed. Flight instruments.
Checked.
Check confirmed. Takeoff briefing.
Confirmed.
Flaps config.
1 plus F.
1 plus F. VR1, sorry, V1, VR, V2, flex temp.
V1 123, VR 132, V2 137, flex is 57.
Confirmed. ATC.
Is set.
Ecam memo.
Is takeoff no blue.
Okay, below the line.
Yeah, that below the line. Talk about line, not line up. Okay. So it's because I'm trying to do 8 things at once, but yeah, below the line.
Cabin crew.
Advised.
TCAS.
TARA.
And your mode selector.
Normal.
Packs 1 and 2.
Are on.
Checklist complete.
Okay, you ready?
Let's do this.
Okay, takeoff.
Power set flex. That is 100 knots.
Check.
V1. And rotate. Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear up.
We got flex.
We got flex this time.
We got flex.
Did you turn the runway light off?
No. Okay, 1500 feet and climb power.
Very misty day out there.
I'll right click the Alt knob so we get open climb.
I take it you brought the flaps up.
No, not yet.
Oh yeah, we're nowhere near. Blimey. I'm so used to seeing the, you know, on the ticket tape, the red markers. We've not even got there yet.
No, because we stayed in SRS, we didn't do anything else.
Is it really misty for you when you look out the
Yeah,
window?
it's terrible. Okay, flaps up.
Okay, speed checked, flaps up.
And the after takeoff checklist.
Okay, after takeoff checklist, landing gear,
Is up.
flaps,
Retracted.
packs.
On.
Okay. Blue sky.
And below the line as well.
Gonna go below the line. Barrel reference.
Nav stat standard now, passing flight level 55 now.
Confirmed. Checklist completed.
Don't you just love it when you've flown like through really bad, overcast, misty, horrible weather, and then you just fly above into this abyss of cloud. It's
Yeah.
blue sky. It's so nice.
I love it. It's one of the things that, like, when I first started flying, it's one of the things that I look forward to the most, because I hadn't really thought about it at that point. I was only young and I hadn't thought about it, but it's like no matter what the weather's doing on the ground, once you get over those clouds, it's always sunny.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Right, autopilot's coming in, and we are well underway. Well, here we are with about 100 and, what is it, 52 miles to go until Canberra. Is that actually how you pronounce it? Canberra?
Canberra.
Or is it not Canberra?
No.
Canberra.
Canberra.
Like Edinburgh.
Yeah. Yeah, Edinburgh is a bit of a weird one. Have you noticed the sky outside? Like all the clouds got left behind. And then if you
I
look
actually think
outside
there was
now,
like a
it's wonderful.
storm. I think we flew. I honestly think as we departed from wait, I almost said Sydney now. As we departed from Melbourne, on the right turn, I swear there was a storm underneath us, but that's passed, and now the sky is beautiful.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I've not seen any water yet, but we should see that when we come into Melbourne.
I saw a few little
Oh, no.
streams.
Hang on a minute, we took off out of Melbourne. I didn't see the water, did you?
No, because of the cloud. But then once we turned back, I did see it. Okay, so the arrival we need to program. And you can probably hear me like tapping my keys, which is really awkward. But there you go. It's the Manda 8 apparently. So arrival. We're going to be landing on runway 17, is what we said.
I believe so.
There's no ILS on 17, so we're going to have to do an RNAV.
There's not. Yeah.
Or we can do an NDB or a VOR. What's your
Whatever
fancy?
you takes your fancy.
Well, to be honest, the weather's beautiful, so we don't even need to do any of those. I'll stick the RNAV in just to see where we're going, but apart from that, I don't really need to use anything other than that. I think it's a pad. I don't even know which one it is, to be honest.
Yeah, you want the 8B, I think, don't you?
Just yeah, 8 Papa it is.
8 Bravo, according to the plan.
Well, yeah, but that's not RNAV, is it? So transition is going to be.
Yep.
I really need to open the RNAV chart actually. Right, here we go. The joys of Navigraph. Right, so we're coming from the western side. So, well, that's interesting. The chart for me doesn't have any of these points on. Oh no, it does. It does. Mekon. There we go. Figured it out.
Hang on, Mekon. Wasn't there a bad
Mekon.
guy called Mekon? Do you remember? Oh, you might not remember. There was a cartoon. It was like one of those printed cartoons, and it was the Mekon. I'm sure was the bad guy.
No idea.
Strange alien head guy. I'm gonna Google that later.
Anyway, Mekon to be over 6,000 feet, which is already programmed, and then it goes to a place called Vipeg, and then starts the RNAV arrival into Canberra. Do you have the weather by any chance?
Yeah, 1021.
Okay, so transition altitude is 10,000 again. And 1021 you said?
Yep.
What's the temperature?
Current temperature is 20 degrees. Wind is
not a bad day.
140 at 5 knots.
Okay, and the barrow today is apparently 2390, according to the chart. So there's that. So, yeah, it's pretty much straightforward. We'll
So
follow it down.
2390, where do you get that from?
Bottom of the chart, if you look at 7-30,
Yeah.
and then right at the bottom, runway 17. The very one on the
Yep,
far
got
left.
it. 2390.
Yep, sweet. I forget how nice Australia is scenery-wise. It's just so cool.
So much land, though, isn't there? Just so much of it.
So it's something like 80% of it's just desert, and the rest of it's inhibited by.
It never used to be, though.
Inhibited.
Inhibited.
I'm done. I can't speak English today.
It actually used to be covered in like trees, like absolutely the world's biggest forest.
Really?
Millions of years ago, yeah. And then it started to move south, and there was something about a change in the current in the sea, in the Pacific, meant that the weather patterns changed and it all dried out completely, and then the whole thing, all the trees just died off, and it ended up as like a desert in the middle. But it used to be one of the most green areas in the world.
It's pretty impressive.
Tis.
Still looks nice, regardless of what happened to it. You know what I want to know is if you
What?
look behind your seat, and you know, like the circuit breaker panel, and
Yeah.
then just off to the left between the window and the circuit breaker panel, I don't think it's
There's a
actually
plug, shaver plug.
No, but the actual wall on the captain's side is filthy. It's like someone's just gone crazy with paint on their hands. But who would be there? Why would you put your hands there?
I don't know. Maybe they press on it to lean over. Maybe it's the cabin crew when they bring the coffee in.
I thought you were going to say something else, and I was like, wow. Never mind. Anyway, there's
Almost
really
at
much
top.
else to do.
Yeah, what are we, 20 nautical away from top?
Notice we kept the seatbelt signs on all the way because we are a BBJ and we do not let people stand up. That's one of our company policies.
Business class.
Yeah. Business class where you remain seated at all times because the actual seat transforms into a toilet, a bed, everything.
If you have a look behind in the seats, they don't look like that at all. They're just like economy class.
We actually are fitted with 2 hotel suites out back. What was that thing you found on stream? I can't remember what it's called. Resident suite.
Oh yeah, crikey.
Was it like 25 grand a leg to basically have a hotel in the sky?
Yeah. Well, it was a shared thing for 8, wasn't it? Like 30 grand or something.
I mean,
and you get an
it's
entire
not too
room
bad.
to yourself between about a party of 8 or something. So it wasn't. If you split it down, it's not that bad.
Have you seen like you know, private jets nowadays? You can, if you have like a group of 10 of you, it's actually cheaper to rent out a private jet to fly you there than to go like with a charter airline or scheduled airline or whatever it is.
Yeah. Do you get cabin crew service though, like you do on a?
No, you don't get anything like that, but you get a private jet, so it's like no delays or anything. It's straight there.
True.
Right, we're almost ready for descent.
Yep.
So the hard part about stuff like this is finding things to talk about.
Ooh, the weather.
Yeah. How many times can you say the weather's nice? I bet you it must get really tiresome being a pilot and giving the same forecast to passengers like 10 times a day. It's like, oh, the weather, well, we just came from there, so we know what it's like.
I must admit, when I look outside and I see that weather, I am jealous because I know what the weather's like in the UK right now. I look at that and I'm like, yeah, that's quite nice.
It's pretty bad. The UK's always bad though. I mean, to the point where I almost had to invest in some sort of a yacht the other day, so...
Well, you say it's bad. Some guy sent me a tweet, a picture of his, you know those temperature gauges where it shows you the inside and outside temperature in his house?
Mm-hmm.
It showed me the temperature gauge and it said inside plus 24 Celsius, outside minus 25 Celsius. Now, can you imagine what it's like to walk outside given that temperature difference of 50
Where
Celsius?
does he live?
Sweden. Over in Sweden right now, it's between minus 18 and minus
yeah,
25.
I saw Corrales posted on Twitter the picture of the snow in his front garden.
Yeah.
And his car, like, you couldn't tell it was a car, it just looked like a big snowman.
Yep. He got stuck, I think, in his car going out the other
Go
day.
shopping or something. Yeah.
Minus 25. That's insane.
I watched a documentary of somewhere in northern Russia, it's like the coldest like place people live on the planet, and it was like minus 40.
Yeah, I've seen that, actually.
Like,
I know what you mean.
mean. I just watching these guys walk around in just like a duffel coat and some jeans, like, oh, they're used to it, no problem.
I think they went there in an episode of Top Gear, actually. They went there and it was unbelievably cold.
I don't know how, I mean, like 3 degrees and I'm crying. Minus 40. And it's amazing that your body can sort of acclimatize to minus 40 degrees. You would think at that point your blood would just freeze. But never mind. Apparently they get on with it and do it very well. They even have animals and stuff, like dogs and stuff running around.
I think it's just a problem for us British because we're used to such a narrow temperature band that anything outside and we're crying about it.
Yeah, sad.
Cushy existence on a small island.
Well, it's a small but very crowded island.
It's actually not that crowded, it's just that most people clump together into cities and stuff.
Well, yeah. I truly understood the term crowded when I went to Tesco. By the way, I don't actually shop at Tesco, just so people don't judge. Well, I went to Tesco on Christmas Eve, and yeah, never again.
You're crazy. Going shopping on Christmas Eve, you're crazy.
Well, I actually forgot stuff for Christmas dinner, so I had to go. Which was ironic, because the things that I forgot, people never actually ate when I bought them, so it was actually a wasted trip. You have this like extravagant plans of, you know, feeding like, well, for me it was 6 people. And so, you know, making enough food for 6 people. By the time they've left, there's still enough food for about another 15 people.
We're still at 31,000. This is quite a long descent.
Yeah. Inbound Amanda.
I can see that.
Just want to know what sort of acid people are on when they name these fixes. Normally it's relative to the town or city or something that's below them.
Well,
Really
if you was naming
Amanda.
something, you could name it after an area nearby, or you could name it after somebody you know, like a, you know, like your nephew or your niece or something. That's what people probably do. I'll name it after my dog. Like if I put a VOR up near Chelmsford, I'd call it Doyle.
Well, yeah, but what
Just
would the
'cause I
3-letter
can.
code be?
Yeah, it's great.
What would your 3-letter code be for Doyle? D-L-E.
DYL or something.
This is so scenic.
Have you got these like tiny cotton wool bud clouds outside?
Yeah, exactly, with a nice shadow onto the mountainside. We're just going over a lake now.
Thing is, if you look down there, you can see roads cutting through the scenery. Imagine breaking down in your car, going down one of those roads.
Yeah, in the
It's like a while
Highlands,
to
just
get
out the
help.
way.
Yeah, just hardly anybody goes down those roads.
Calling the
like,
Australian
1 or 2
version of
hours.
the AA.
Oh my god. Yeah, we'll be with you in 3.5 hours, sir.
Quicker to just walk back. I don't know why this has just reminded me of you saying that. So my my neighbour got themselves a rent-a-car because their own car was broken, and the guy that brought the car to their doorstep brought their car to their door, and then went into the boot, or the trunk if you're American, pulled out this like little motorised petrol bike and just drove off on it.
Nice. I've actually seen that in London.
I was just like, what? Where's he even going to go on that?
It's quite cool though, because you can drop cars off.
It's just, my mind was blown. And you know what? All I could think of is when you come out of my house, there's a huge hill. There's no way that bike's going up that hill.
Every now and again it flashes up decelerate.
Yeah, well, we're good for now. There's no real problem.
Thing is, once you've got up to cruise, like, you know, in terms of fuel, you just get through the cruise and then you're just gliding all the way down. It's just superb.
Yeah, the burn rate on the descent is very, very low. Basically just keeps the engines ticking over. That's why pilots love to do it's called a CDAP, continuous descent approach. They basically never want the power to be input until the last minute.
Yeah, just glide all the way down.
Yep.
Which is fun, unless you go into a busy airport where you're likely to put into a holding pattern.
Yeah, leveling off at busy airports is also a thing that happens quite a lot. Also, actually, speaking of leveling off, I think they at Heathrow, they're increasing the degree of the glide path so that pilots can essentially descend more in a continuous fashion than having to level off and wait for the glide to intersect. Which is good, because they can essentially just idle it all the way down from cruise then.
What's their current glide, like 3 degrees or something?
Yeah, it's just standard 3 degrees. London City's 5.5, I think. Yeah, 5.5. That's a good approach. In fact, we should do that in the shared cockpit, actually. That would be really cool.
What,
The
London
London
City?
City 5.5 degree approach. You're pretty much 10 degrees nose down until like 50 feet. And then you have to... it's got... like normally you hear a 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Yeah.
Well, this one has... It goes 60, and then it goes flare, flare, flare. And you have to do it. It's so weird.
Do you not get the guy going, sink rate, sink rate?
No, it's designed to give you the audible warnings to make it like not a smooth landing, because they never are, but like so you don't actually like break the plane into 6 pieces.
Yeah, just flying through the beautiful cloud right now.
It's really nice. And as well with London City, when you go on when you are on the glide, your speed brakes are out as well, all the way down.
Well, just to arrest that descent a bit.
Yeah, it's just the way all of the planes, all of the jets that go in there, like the Avros, the ERJs, the Embraers even, they all have the speed brakes in the up position until they vacated the runway.
See, if you look outside, is it all like green woodland almost?
Yeah, it's gone really nice here. This area of Australia seems to be really cool. I'm a little bit worried about the terrain versus where we are. Terrain on ND.
Nicely.
Oh, it's fine. Once we pass over this little mountain range, it's done. Well, it's going to start to slow down now because it's approaching 10k. And we're going to be starting the RNAV soon.
There's another little lake to the right. There's all these little, like, you can see rivers cutting through the countryside as well. There's lots of bodies of water kicking around.
Yeah, it's really nice though. It's some of the best flying scenery in P3D FSX, without a shadow of a doubt. And these clouds just make it 10 times better.
Oh, the clouds are just absolutely beautiful.
Okay, well, I need to set the pressure. So 1021, passing 10,590.
1021 passing 10,500.
Yep, and we can do the approach checklist when you're ready.
Okay. If I can find it. Right, seatbelt sounds are on, aren't they? We didn't turn them off, I don't believe. Okay, approach briefing.
We'll say complete.
ECAM status.
It's checked.
Seatbelt signs.
Are on and auto. Well, no, actually they're both on. One sec. Now they're on and auto.
Barrel reference.
1021, passing 95.
Confirmed. MDA DH.
Okay, so the MDA is, the barrow is set 2390.
Confirmed. And the engine mode selector
is set to normal.
Checklist complete.
Sweet. So the RNAV starts at 3,900 feet. So that's what I'm going to take us down to. There we go. And then the decision is 1k below that, so we've got 1,000 feet to play with before we have to consider what's going to go. Well, what's going to go in our favour. You know what I can see actually ahead of us is a wall of cloud. I'm hoping that disappears.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think we'll have a problem, to be fair.
I think once we get below, it'll be fine. It's just getting
Yeah.
to that point.
I think that cloud is above 3,900.
Fingers crossed. It's a nice turn onto the art now, though. I'll give it that. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Really nicely drawn curve. We're good with fuel, just under 3 tons, and auto brake as well. We need medium, so I'll set that.
Roger.
It's in that waypoint that's just come on the nav data and
Yeah, I see that.
navigation display. Goonie.
That's a bit random.
Told you, they're on acid. Right, I'm going to switch to weather radar now instead of terrain on ND. We can see if there's anything going to nail us.
Does that turn it on for me, or do I need to turn that on?
No, I don't think it's synced. I think you need to do that. Okay, cool.
What a curve.
Yeah, we've activated the approach phase. Nice. Yeah, that cloud is quite far away. It's not as close as I thought it was. Missed approach is 5,000 feet climb, so when we're you know, in a place to set that, then that's what you want to set.
Yep.
I thought I programmed a VOR in there, but I didn't. I suppose I could put one in. 1167. Let me just throw that in. Oh, it's already there. Oh.
What's that there in the box? CRS?
CRS?
The yellow box on the
Oh,
MCBU.
Course of whether you want to track or whatever you want to track even. Okay, we need to get a pedal on with this descent, so let me just... Okay, let's take flap 1, please.
Okay, speed check. Flat 1.
To do a bit of nailing on the descent, so I'm going to put the speed brake out. And I'm going to reset the MCP to minimum, so 2900. I can see the airport just after our 12 o'clock, you see, so...
Yeah, I can see it.
Let's see what happens. That's what happens when you don't follow RNAV constraints, things get a little bit messy. Yeah, that's crazy high. Remember what I said about BBJs and us throwing it around? I think I'm going to employ that technique very, very soon.
We're at 6,000 coming in.
Yeah, it's all good, don't worry. Right, I'm going to disconnect the autopilot and I'm going to fly us around in like a big circle. And then we can just, like it'll be a visual approach then from that point.
That's fine.
Okay, my aircraft.
Roger.
2,500.
Okay, go around set to 5k.
Okay, thanks. Flaps 2, please.
Speed check, flaps 2.
At least we're going to get a nice view of the airport.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Okay, gear down, please.
Speed check, gear down.
And then once that's down, you can go flat full on the landing checklist.
Okay. Landing checklist. Cabin crew advised. Auto throttle.
Still in.
Waiting for the flaps. Okay, ecam memo.
Checked.
100
Landing no
above.
blue. Checklist complete.
500. Minimum. 400. 300. 200. 100. 70. 60. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
Spurs deployed. Reverses green. Decel. $70 knots. Sweet, nicely done.
That was some interesting make it up as you go flying right there. The scenery is very nice.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Got so much static, I don't know where to park.
Yeah, there's like loads of
Oh, look at the
is that
people
Qantas
flow.
Airlines everywhere?
The people flow is so cool.
Oh, there's like an aircraft to the left just being loaded. Can you see that?
Yep.
Oh my god, have you got that? There's people walking around loading baggage onto the Virgin Australian aircraft left of us. That is so cool.
Yeah, I just parked next. Look at that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
like
nice.
GSX built in. It's amazing.
Okay, parking brake set.
APU available.
Shutting down the engines. Oh, we get all the lights and stuff. What the? Is that Air Force One in the background?
What?
Dude, there's Air Force One in the background? You just,
Where are you looking?
the runway we landed on, to the left of it.
Can't see it.
On the other ramp over there, like way behind us.
Oh yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see that. It's actually some pretty sweet scenery around here.
It's nice. It's a little bit laggy for me, but whatever. This is the old school Orbeck stuff. This is before they figured out how to optimize stuff, so I guess I'd love them to revisit it though, and you know, and recode it for modern technology. But yeah, our private reg has made it safely.
Welcome to Canberra.
Yeah, although that landing, I mean, the landing itself was fine, but that little improvisation right there is probably not strictly by the book, but whatever. It's all about having fun.
Cool. Yeah, lovely scenery. And nice flying with you again.
Absolutely. Again, I'm sure the 100 people that liked it will kindly oblige.